A very good morning to you, gang. It's Monday, what are we, 19th of November 2018, and a warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from our Bracknell television studio complex here in Royal Berkshire this morning. I did notice there was a little bit of jumping going around on the sound and the video when we were starting there, so hopefully that will smooth out. If it would, just let me know if it doesn't. Give it a couple of minutes and we'll see how we go. All right. What's it like out there? Bit windy, bit dull. Unlike this, look, we're not dull this morning, are we? I don't get this jacket out very often. It's the green one. This appears to be the most unpopular jacket that I have. People just don't like it. They say I look like Paddington Bear. That, in fact, is a bit big for me now. Isn't it? Really? But never mind. Good. Hope you're well this morning. Let's say hello. Let's do some early messages today. We'll pick up on the YouTube. You lot were first in this morning. YouTube, good morning to you. Claire wasn't paying, unfortunately, full attention to her equipment. We often get a message from like one person saying, "Oh, Chris, there's no sound. And what it is, they haven't looked at their own equipment, dear. It's not me, it's you. How many times have you heard that, Claire? Have you ever been dumped? I don't suppose you have been, Claire. I have been quite a few times. It's not me, it's you. Sorry, it's not you, it's me. Morning, Claire. And Claire says she enjoyed the opening video. Yes, that one we started. I made that last week, actually. And I think we started playing that one on Tuesday. So that's the new opening video for down here. And of course, when I'm in Lincolnshire, you'll get one up there. So that's where I'm going later on today. I'm not looking forward to the weather, actually. Apparently, we're due a really icy blast. So we'll see how cold it is in my caravan then. Oh, no. I've joined a caravan group, actually, on Facebook. I've joined a static caravan group on Facebook where you can share little bits of advice and what people, have learned over the years, and new people who have only just sort of had one. I've only had mine about, when did I buy it? Was it July, August, September? So it's 4 months I've had that now. 4 months I've had that caravan. One of the best things I've ever done, I tell you. Blooming marvellous. A bit of Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, do you think so? Sherlock Holmes. Shall I start doing... trying to work out crimes and things like that. Huh? Are you committing any crimes this morning? I hope not, Claire. Good morning to Maureen, joining us on the text there. Morning, my darling. All right. She had a good time on Friday night. We had a wonderful karaoke on Friday night, I tell you. It was really good. Claire, were you there? Yes, you were, weren't you? You always disappear, Claire, without saying no. You quickly make your exit. Mind you, I'm the same. I'm absolutely the same. When I finished work or something like that, I like to move out nice and quickly. Just quietly go out the side door so no one notices. Yes, that's what you do as well, isn't it? Over on Facebook Live, a very good morning to Adam the Plumber. Good morning, Adam. I haven't seen you for ages now. It seems an eternity since we actually spoke. Good morning, Adam. Hello to Diane Jeb. Who Adam's noticed that the countdown clock has moved in the first video. Yes, indeed it has. It did. I keep you guessing to see what you notice and what you don't notice. That's right, Adam. Hello to Telly. Good morning to Telly. Mari's there. Hello, you lovely lady. Mari's there. Hope I have a great day. Thank you very much, Mari. Hello to Michelle White, whose daughter's birthday it is today. I did make a small note here. Kate White. Kate White, I think she's 18 today, isn't she? So happy birthday to Kate White. Is she having a party at home, or don't she want mum around for her party? Oh, no. Shell, I must tell you, only once ever, I had a 16th birthday party. It was a 16th or an 18th? Ooh. Might have been an 18th. Either a 16th or 18th birthday party at the house where I live with my mum and dad. And I sent my mum and dad out so that we could all drink and smoke. It was terrible. What an absolute disaster. Don't get me wrong. There wasn't like cigarette burns and rubbish and drink all over the place. There was none of that. It just didn't work. And I never threw another party for myself out since that. An absolute disaster. And yet I can do it for other people. Isn't it funny, really? Really odd. So will she be doing anything like that? Is she chucking out mum? so that she can have a party on her own with all her friends? Very, very dangerous, Michelle. Don't let her do it, love. You'll have to hide in a toilet or something like that. Morning, Michelle, and happy birthday to your daughter, Kate, this morning, all right? There was a bit of jumping, was there? Okay. Are we okay now? Good morning to Bruce, who's in New Zealand. Welcome along to the show, Bruce. We just have a little bit of a chit-chat, a little bit of a laugh each morning here, usually. Telly is in Azerbaijan. Oh, yes, you won the Eurovision a few years ago, didn't you? I remember that. Morning to you. Hello to Katie Ann Patterson. It's a beautiful day here today. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. Did you notice how that was pitch perfect? Pitch perfect. So much better than the performance from Cheryl Cole on the X Factor. Oh, it was horrendous. We'll come to that a little bit later on. Morning to Christina, who's still in Germany. Do send our warmest regards to Mrs. Merkel. Are you meeting up with her for tea at all? Little Mrs. Merkel in Germany. Bless her heart, lovey. She tries her best. I think Mrs. Merkel has got such a warm heart. I really do. I mean that in all sincerity. I think she's got her mind in the right place. She wants to help people. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't want to be helped or don't want her to help, but that's how it is. I think she's a good woman, actually. Morning to Dominic Heisler. Morning, Dominic. Little Zeds there. Have you just woken up, dear? Wakey, dear. Come along, Dominic. You can't be falling asleep at this time in the morning. 9:05 in the morning? Dear me. Why? Why this early? Hello to Ray Reynolds in Woodford Green. Morning, Ray. He'll be along for the karaoke tonight. Hello to the lovely Colin. Morning, Colin. And someone says I have a good voice. Thank you very much. I mean, I could sing just for the whole show if you wanted me to. Is that a good idea? What would you like me to sing? Thank you very much. Claire might come along to the karaoke tonight. She said her throat's a bit sore. Now, I can see that picture jumping at the moment. Stick with it, okay? It will settle down. I don't know why it started doing that last week. I have changed a couple of settings on here, so it may well be that. The trouble is, I can't remember what the old settings are. It will settle down. The sound should be all right, but the picture might jump occasionally, as it's all right again now, isn't it? I can actually see that doing that right in front of me there, my love, all right? Oh, I see. I beg your pardon. Dominique is in Canada. I beg your pardon. Still time for sleep. Yeah, I had trouble sleeping last night, Dominic. They're funny. Why do we have... Sometimes you, for no apparent reason, you have trouble sleeping, don't you? You notice that? You do have trouble sleeping sometimes. And last night was one for me, I'm afraid. Oh, I was like tossing and turning in bed. I couldn't get to sleep. I wasn't particularly uncomfortable, but it's annoying when you can't sleep, isn't it? Michelle. Michelle wouldn't dare have a party. That's her daughter, Kate. The carpets haven't been down long. We're all going to Winter Wonderland on Saturday and a big family meal. Walking in the Winter Wonderland. In the dirt we will build in the something. Then the dirt we will build a snowman. That's the Winter Wonderland song, isn't it? Have you ever been to that Lapland, UK? Lapland, UK. That comes around at Christmas. I think it's somewhere in Bracknell Forest they have it. Those Lapland UK things have been on Watchdog before, and they weren't given a very good write-up at all. It was basically a few reindeers and a bit of tinsel and a few bits of twig on the floor. £50 each, please. I haven't heard good news about that at all, really. Good morning to John Parrish. Morning to you. Hello, John. Claire wasn't there Friday. Oh, I must be thinking of last week then. I don't know. Morning to Daniel Broadbent. Good morning. Welcome along, Daniel. Welcome. He does karaoke. Must come down to Central Station. Well, come along, Daniel. You will be welcome. Bring a toothbrush. You can come home with me afterwards. Here, not much of a better offer than that, really, is there, Daniel? We've got karaoke tonight, boys and girls. Central Station tonight, karaoke. Look, there we go. If you're around in the North London area, join us from 7:30 till 11 o'clock tonight for karaoke, Monday night karaoke with cheap drinks as well. at Central Station, Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Christina is expecting snow today. Oh my God, what, in Germany? Oh, rather you than me. So she's coming back to Portsmouth soon. Needs her fish and chips. No fish and chips in Germany? Oh no, it's all sausages, isn't it? Sausages. It's all sausages in Germany. German sausages. What are sausages? Those of you that are perhaps on the continent, does everyone have sausages in the world? Sausages is basically a mashed up dead animal in a tube. That's what it is. I speak as it is, dear. Sausages are a dead animal mashed up, chopped up, and shoved in a little tube. That is what they are. All right, let's get on with this. So yesterday, I haven't been with you all weekend, have I? I missed you this weekend. I've been so busy, really. Yesterday was my mother's anniversary. She was gone 18 years ago yesterday. So I went to the church, as I usually do on a Sunday, but straight after church, I went down to the grave. My mum and dad are buried in Putney Heath Cemetery, which is actually, when I was standing there yesterday by the grave, and I was thinking, for all the amount of people that there are around, it's not a very big area to bury everyone. Do you know what I mean? It is a big cemetery, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things. But when you look at how big that is and how many people are around that area, you kind of wonder how they get everyone in. What happens? And I think you only have a grave for so long, don't you? Is it 100 years? Is it 100 years? And by then, you've just become dust after that. So I suppose you just go into the earth. I don't know how it works, actually. But it just seemed such a smaller area for so many. Of course, they're not all dead yet. But over time, a lot of people would have died. And they're in that small area. I don't quite know how that works, really. Maybe they have to do it like a block of flats. When they start having to build it up like that. And Putney Vale Cemetery is next to Asda, which is handy for the flowers, you see. So I left church and I drove straight down the M4 to the cemetery. And the first thing I do is go to Asda. So I got to Asda round about 11:15. And by then on a Sunday, so you don't really want to go to a supermarket on a Sunday, I must say to you. It's probably worse to go on a Sunday than it is on a Saturday. It's so busy all the time. And I noticed that there's actually two car parks. There's a downstairs and there's one up the hill. And everyone's queuing to go downstairs. So I just go round them, straight up, park straight away, into Asda, done a little bit of shopping. And not so much, I have to say, not so much in Waitrose or even Sainsbury's or Tesco's. But you go in Asda and there's just so much stuff. Do you know what I mean? As you come in the doors, there's stacks and stacks and stacks of stuff waiting to be purchased. I think on this occasion it was, as you came in the front doors, let me remember, it was toilet rolls and them things, paper things you wipe your paper towels, for the kitchen towels. That's it, kitchen towels. That was all stacked there, and then you go a little bit further, and there's stacks and stacks of Jaffa cakes. Well, little boxes everywhere, and it's just everywhere. So much stuff in Asda, and it's the same with the one here. We don't have an Asda in Bracknell. It's a little bit further up in Winnersh, which I thought for years was called Winnerish. I thought it was Winnerish. Telly says, I wish your mother to be healthy and happy and be together with you. Well, sadly not. No, she's gone, I'm afraid. She left this planet 18 years ago, my mother. And my father 22 years ago. And that's why I went to see the grave, you see. It was her anniversary yesterday. She's been gone 18 years ago. Anyway, back to Asda. And just, you walk around there and it's just amazing. All this food and other bits and pieces that are in there. They've got a very good Christmas section, I must say. Loads of Christmas stuff in there. And I'm walking around, I've got some flowers, got some other little bits and pieces, jumped back in the car and went to the grave. Unfortunately, don't worry, I can see that picture getting stuck. I don't know why it's doing it. It's just started doing that for some reason. I can't really change the settings half the way through a show and try something else anyway. As long as you can hear me, that's more important. It'll smooth out again in a minute, don't worry. Went to the grave, parked up at the grave. There's a few people in there tending to their loved ones' final places of resting and what have you. And I noticed all the plants I'd planted on her birthday, which is in August, they'd all gone. They just disappeared. I don't know if someone's nicked them or anything, or they have just died, one of the two. But the whole grave was like covered in like a green weeds, but they weren't very high. You know, they were quite low-level weeds that had been growing there. So I pulled a few up, and then I stopped and I looked back and I thought, well, hang on a minute. That actually looks better than bare earth, having the weeds on there. So I left them. I thought, no, they don't look too bad at all there. Now, I don't know why that picture's doing that. Let's try something. Let's swap a camera a second. Is it that camera? It might well just be that. It might just be that camera. Now, that stopped it, hasn't it? That's actually stopped it. Let me just have a look at something. I wonder if I've... Let's turn that off. Let's see what happens if that turns that off. Hang on, turn that on. Turn that off. That's on... Let's turn the anti-flicker off. Let's see if that helps. We'll see if that makes any difference. All right, boys and girls? That certainly stopped it for now, isn't it? Okay. So I just left the weeds on there. Said a couple of prayers. Spoke to my mum and dad, as you do. I always kiss the gravestone as well, just before I go. And jumped in the car and came home again. So that was my morning yesterday. Quite cold as well. So, I mean, I'm only there a few minutes. It doesn't matter. I just think it's important to turn up for her birthday. And the anniversary as well. I don't know why. I do, of course, remember my dad well, but I tend not to go on his birthdays or anniversaries. I suppose that's probably a mother and son thing. I don't know. No, it just does make me wonder who's going to visit mine. Were you? What if I recorded some shows in advance and put them on a little LED screen, which would play out on the anniversary of my death? Would you turn up at my grave and watch them? So that was a nice morning yesterday. Claire, let's have a look here. Claire says her dad died 3 years ago and I bought the plot next to his. We have just had a huge headstone installed across both with spaces for all of us. Yes, actually, the grave that my mother and father, my mother bought for my father, is enough for 3 people. So I think Mum probably knew that I'd never have anyone in my life. I mean, I knew that at 16 years old that I'd never have anyone in my life. But perhaps she knew that as well, and that's why she got the space for 3 of us. At least I won't have to buy another one. Save me money. John says we buried our mother-in-law last week. She wasn't dead. We just buried her. I love this sense of humour. We must have a dark sense of humour. Please always have a dark sense of humour. I love it. Let's have a look. Ben, Colin says in some places they double bury, one person on top of the other. Yeah, as indeed is the case with my mother and father. Dad went in there first, Mum's on top. Colin says not family related in some cases. Running out of burying places. Oh, right. Oh, I didn't know that. So in some cemeteries, they just put, different families, one on top of the other. Presumably after a period of time was passed, I would imagine, Colin, wouldn't you? Christina, the cemetery in America and Germany, it's 100 years and family has then to pay for the next 25 or 50 years. This on top of what you have paid for the plot already. Thank you very much. Don't worry, Telly. No, that's okay. It's an easy mistake to make, my darling. Don't worry about that. Good morning to Kevin Webster. Morning, Kevin. Katie lost her mum 2 years ago. Isn't that a sad thing, Katie? It's something, it's something you never get over of. I really don't believe that. If you loved someone that much, you never get over it. You simply have to learn to live with it. A few years ago, I couldn't have this discussion now without bursting into tears with you. you know. And inside, I'm terribly, terribly upset that my mum has passed, but I have learnt to live with that. And I think I often say that to people. Of course, as you get older, you find that all your friends and people like that, they lose people as well. And I say to them, you know, it will be very, very hard, especially the first birthday and Christmas. Do you remember that, Kate? Do you remember that, Kate? Your first birthday without your mother around? And then your first, possibly worse Christmas. Your first Christmas without your mum is just awful. It is just awful. But as time goes on, you never forget them. You simply learn to live with them. And that's how it is, isn't it? It really is. Good. Adam says he's going to visit me every year to make sure you haven't escaped. I'm sorry, Adam. I really don't think I'll be going first, my friend. We are of similar age, my dear, and I'm looking at you, and I wouldn't give you too much longer at all, to be honest. In fact, I wouldn't be buying your next season ticket, Adam. We have to laugh at these things. It just, I'm going to give you an example now. It just amazes me, these people with no sense of humour whatsoever. Now, this often happens when I post something. And last night, I think Colin's still with us at the moment. I must tell you, last night I posted something on my Facebook wall. Now, if you're not on my Facebook, it's facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. You can do a little follow on there if you want to. And basically, it was the Houses of Parliament and Jeremy Corbyn making a speech. And somewhere along the speech, he said he was at some meeting. It might have been a European meeting or something like that. And he said, and do you know what they all said to me? So and these are not the exact words. Do you know what they all said to me? And someone over on the Conservative side shouted out, "Who are you?" And the entire Conservative lot laughed. They were falling off their chairs. I was watching this happen. Doesn't matter who you vote for. But I immediately thought that was hilarious and funny. And do you know what made it more hilarious and funny? Jeremy Corbyn didn't see the funny side of it. And he's standing there, stony-faced at his lectern, not able to get the joke. Anyway, I posted it. I was highly amused. And a few people, you know, did a LOL and a PMSL and little laughing faces. And there were two people on there who just said, oh, you know, you failed to see the serious side of the situation. Well, of course we know it's serious. But they don't. There's no sense of humour there. Anyway, I've decided I don't need those sort of people in my life anymore. I don't need people with no sense of humour. And there's more and more of them in the world. There's absolutely more and more of them in the world now. Often I put someone on a stage. If I'm putting people on stage on Saturday night and they might do a joke and everyone will laugh and then someone will be mortally offended. Oh, why don't you just go and stop upsetting the rest of us? We're there to have a laugh. I am here on this planet to attempt to make people laugh. I'm sure I am. And maybe think a little bit about life. Take the lighter side of things. And if you don't want to be in that little group, please go. Because I don't want to waste my time and effort trying to make people smile. If you look at everything and criticise everything that you see in a bad light, I feel very sorry for you. I really do. So I decided I don't need those people in my life. And as they come on, if I post something that I think that's really hilarious, and as you know, you get the very negative messages, you're gone, and that's it. I haven't got time to muck around with people anymore like that. Morning to Brian James. Morning, Brian. He's a new lad on my Facebook. I noticed that, Brian. Welcome to the show. You're here for the first time, aren't you? Welcome along, sir. Kevin saw it. He thought it was funny as well. Oh, Kate's mum, so she had 7 babies. Are they, is that like 7 brothers and sisters you've got? If they're all still here? I do hope they are, Katie. All right, my darling. Good morning to Miriam, who joins us on Facebook Live as well this morning. Who are you? I love it. Long may Teresa go on, says Claire. She's having such a hard time. I cannot believe she's still there, to be honest. But I think the worst thing, if you want to do a little bit of serious, all I would say is that I think the worst thing we could do now is change the leader. I really do that. I really think the worst thing, but we don't really do the Brexit thing. Funny enough, talking of, I don't really do serious stuff, but talking of serious stuff, I was listening to Tony Blackburn's Soul Show yesterday, which I don't normally do live, but I was out in the car coming back from the grave, you see. And he only likes fun. You never hear him do serious stuff on. And this woman rung up and he said, why do you want to play that? Oh, well, because I want to play it because with this whole Brexit thing. And he cut her off straight away. Oh, no. And you heard it. You heard the fader go down like this. Like that. And I knew he'd taken the fader down. He said, oh, no, we're not going to do Brexit. This is a happy show. We all want to do happy stuff. And that's it. He just cut her off. Good on him. Colin, some people seem to be born without a sense of humour. Well, they do, Colin. It has to be said, not many people of our age, Colin. Most people of our age have a sense of humour still. But there are the occasional one. And, they've all got a certain look. Have you noticed that? The people without senses of humour have all got a certain look to them. Have a look around. Just have a look around. You'll see what I mean, Colin. All right. Good morning to Michael Lawrence. Hello, Michael. No, I was at my mum's grave, mum and dad's grave yesterday. That's why I wasn't here. It's coming to the pub next Monday. Is that right? So that's not today, but next Monday. So come and sing us a song. Oh, you can just come and watch. I don't think you're a singer, are you? Not that you need to be a singer at my karaoke's. We don't worry that people can't sing. My God, have you seen half of them? None of us can sing, especially me. I'm the worst one there. There's a few there that sing badly. But it doesn't matter because it's karaoke. What matters is that you are a character. It matters that you are a character. You are your own person who's out for a bit of a laugh. If that's you, if you're out to come out for a little bit of a giggle and a little bit of fun, then you're fitting fine, Michael. If you're going to sit in the corner on your own and look miserable all night or sit on your mobile phone tapping away, you might not fit in. All right. Good morning to Stephen Parker. Hello, Atticus is in the house. Are you still in Sweden, Stephen? Stephen used to be... I used to run a little internet talk radio station, which was an awful lot of work. I think I managed about 6 months and I gave it up. Oh, it was an awful lot of work, that was. Always things going wrong and egos and things like that. And it was just awful. But Stephen was on there and he used to do a little thing on there. John, do you know Stephen Hawkins used to go to PC World for his medicals? Did he really? Claire, he lies. His rendition of Puppy Love brings tears to your eyes. And they called it Puppy Love. Shall I do that one today? Shall I do that one tonight? Puppy Love. Good morning to nephew Gary Butler. He's off today. Him and his wife and the children. And Olivia, that is Olivia, Harry. Oh, Harry Butler, one of my great nephews. Is he 4 or 5? 4. I'm sure he's 4. Harry Butler has won Footballer of the Week. Oh, yes, 4 years old. Ha! Bye-bye, Wayne Rooney. Welcome, Harry Butler, to the pitch. Looking proudly in all his little outfit there, standing there. Footballer of the Week, Harry Butler. Oh, yes. 4 years old. We love it. Oh, 5. I beg your pardon. 5 years old he is. Anyway, I'm not going to get to see them next week because they've... Olivia, she's the little disabled one. Now, is she 3 now? Olivia's 3 now, isn't she, I think? They go down to a hospice, which is in Nottingham, and they go there occasionally, every few weeks for a little bit of respite. And then my nephew and his wife... And they do have a couple of helpers coming as well. She has to be looked after 24 hours a day, Olivia. So it's nice to go to the hospice and the nurses and doctors take over kind of thing. And they have a little bit of a rest there. Brian says, I saw a post. Olivia's 3, yeah. Brian says, I saw a post the other day. It said, are you ready for the question? Brexit, deal or no deal? Think about it. No deal. Thought it was funny. Yeah, they won't get Noel Edmonds. That's who they want, Brian. What we could do is all be given a little box. And we open it like that, and it says, as we go into the voting booths and open the box, deal or no deal? Oh, yes. Oh, dear. Got back here yesterday about 12:30 from the grave, had a bit of lunch, slept, got up, watched a bit of TV. Then I came back and my mate came over and we watched Dynasty. Now, I keep going on about this. Dynasty, that's the new version of Dynasty, which is only available on Netflix as far as I know. John, I'm getting ever so hot in here now. Have I got that heating on? No. Shall I open? Oh, it's cold outside. Just a minute now. I must open that window. Oh, dear. It's you lot. It's you. You're making me hot this morning. So I keep going on about this new version of Dynasty. We've already had one series. We're on series 2 now, which is on Netflix, and they release a new show each week, okay? So I'm watching it yesterday, and it is the most ridiculous, stupid storylines, bad acting that you've ever seen in your entire life. But it is, and because of that, it's hilarious. Yesterday's episode, right, involved Fallon, who is a super bitch. Fallon, who's a super bitch, involved her. Suddenly there was a tornado outside. And of course, something hits her on the head. She passes out. And guess what happened? She woke up in her dream world as part of the Wizard of Oz. And she's dressed like Dorothy. One of her boyfriends is dressed as the Straw Man. Another one of her boyfriends is dressed as the Tin Man. And then she bumps into herself because she, as well as Dorothy, is the wizard. And it was hilarious. It is so unbelievable and unreal that it really is worth a watch. Please give it a go. Dynasty on Netflix. You'll need to watch. Don't give up after episode 1. You need to go through episodes 2 or 3. If you go through 3 episodes and you don't like it, I accept that. But give it 3 episodes and you will be laughing your head off. It is one of the funniest things on television. Do not relate it to the old Dynasty, which was proper drama, a little bit too serious, but funny as well. It is so funny, the new series of Dynasty. So we watched that last night. He went home. I think it was around about 11:15, something like that. And then I started cleaning bits and pieces. I like to keep my house clean before I go up to the caravan. So I usually do the kitchen and the bathroom. So I did all that last night. And there we are. That was my day yesterday. Brian says, for people that like horror, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Sabrina. Now, I haven't watched that. I've seen that. That's on Netflix as well, as far as I know, isn't it? I have watched that on there. Okay. Katie's got a grandson with autism. Yes, autism. That's when the person with autism. Have I got this right now? The person, or that might be something else actually. Autism. Yeah, that's the same thing. Autistic and autism is the same thing, isn't it? Yeah. So people with autism, correct me if I'm wrong here, are more intelligent than you and me, but they just can't get it out. I think I'm right in saying that. You'll correct me if I'm wrong there. All right, darling. Stephen is still in Sweden. I'm glad. Oh, God. Okay. Nice and cold in Sweden. I'm sure it is. My first show was 2 hours and Chris sent a mic to me because mine was crap. It was you. I was trying to remember the other day who I sent a microphone to. It was you, wasn't it, Stephen? Have you still got it? I hope you've still got it. Don't ever chuck that away. That was a present, you know. Do you watch Days of Our Lives? He said it's the worst acting but entertaining. No, I don't know that programme at all. Never heard of that one. Days of Our Lives. Not knowing that one at all, I'm afraid. That's it, really. Let's have a look here. We had Saturday night. We had a birthday party in the pub. Victoria Sponge, aka Paul Stone, who is a lovely, such a nice person. He does drag shows as well. It was his birthday, but he was on stage as well. So he was doing his show, and then a cake was brought by the delightful Daniela Diamond, who had a multicoloured wig on. It looked good. She looks fantastic. I have to say, drag queen Daniela Diamond, who's not very well known, but her outfit, her look on the stage is fantastic. It really is. So she bought a little cake and that came over. Unfortunately, Claire, bless my father, for I have sinned. It was 40 years since my last confession. I'm afraid I had 3 pieces of cake. But they were only small. They were like that. They weren't very thick at all. It wasn't like a piece of cake that I would cut myself. So those 3 pieces of cake were probably about that big. You know. Well, it was just sitting on the table. No one else was eating it. Honestly, this is the thing. Now, I've noticed this, except on Monday night when we do the karaoke, what generally happens is on a Monday, if I found out it's someone's birthday, and you've got to tell me if it's someone's birthday. I don't always know. Now, as you know, I do birthdays on this show. Always at the end of the show, we do today's birthdays. If we missed yesterday, I'll do yesterday's birthday. If we're not here tomorrow, I'll do tomorrow's birthday. But we do birthdays after those. But the fact is, we don't have a lot of Facebook people turn up at the karaoke, right? They are the karaoke crowd, shall we say. So you need to tell me if it's going to be someone's birthday. No point turning up and saying, oh, it's my birthday today. Too late. Can't do anything now. What do you want me to do? Go out the back and get a mixing bowl and some flour and eggs and make it myself? I need to know first. So that's always done. Now, on a Monday, what tends to happen is that the cake gets eaten. It'll be split up. I don't know why it works on a Monday and not on the Friday, but this is what happens. So the cake's there and it gets cut up and near enough all of it gets eaten, including a large slice for yours truly. Thank you very much. Well, I bought the bloody thing. Come on. Let's have a bit of your cake. Don't be tight now. Huh? So that all goes on the table and that's nice. On a Friday or a Saturday, that tends not to happen. Yes, the cake comes, right? But no one eats it. And that was the case on Saturday. I saw this cake on the stage, and I swooped. I was like a magpie. I swooped onto the cake, determined not to miss my slice. Literally, as it was placed on the table, I had the knife out. And I cut a piece off and off I went. And then I noticed there it was, sitting on the table, not doing anything. So I swooped back down. No, I didn't. What happened then? Yes, I did. No, I did. I swooped back down on the table. And I think I'll have another bit of cake. And Vera, who comes often, she's a lovely girl, Vera, she says, what are you doing? There's for other people as well there. I said, well, no one's eating it. Yeah, but it's for other people. Why aren't they eating it then? So I ignored her and cut myself another piece. Only thin, not big. Took it back to the DJ box. So I've had that. And then my friend DJ Chris, who you'll often see singing when we do our karaoke live streaming, he came up to I said, here, Chris, can you do us a favour? He said, yeah, what? So get us another piece of that cake, will you? So he went down there and cut another slice. Oh, hang on, let's see if this sorts. Let's see if they all do that. No, all the cameras do it, don't they? Look. Oh, that one doesn't. That one doesn't. I must have something set too high here. Something's gone wrong with the video output on this. I don't know what it is. Anyway. So Chris cut us a slice of cake and he brought it straight over to me. 3 pieces. Not only that, then I packed up a little bit later and I went down to say goodbye to everyone. No one's touched the cake, only me. So I then cut another piece off the side. It wasn't, not straight like that. A little piece like that while I'm having a conversation and another little piece. I was very satisfied after that. But I did come home and I didn't have dinner then. I just went straight to bed on Saturday night. Birthday cake. So that was nice. Paul Stone, happy birthday for last week. All right, my friend. Talking of friends, one of my other friends at the moment, Peter his name is, he's in Vegas. He won a competition to be flown to Vegas and meet Cher. You know Cher. Do you believe in love? I'm in love. Cher actually wrote a song about all my viewers and listeners. Did you know that? She did. It's called Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves. Which one of those am I? That's the thing. Probably gypsy. Probably a gypsy. Due to me having a caravan. I'm actually considering now living in a caravan. Not the one I've got now. I'd have to replace that. I'd have to replace that with one that is more what's called a residential version of it. They look the same, but there's a lot more insulation and central heating and all that. I'm actually considering doing that now. Anyway, So Peter's gone to Vegas, and he has already now. He got front. I think he had front seats for the Cher concert, and he met her. And I saw his post the other day, and people were saying to him, "What was it like?" He said, "I went all gooey and didn't know what to say." And when he met her, he said to her, he said, "Oh, I don't know what to say to you." And apparently she said to him, something like, "Don't worry, darling, just make sure we take good photos." And that's exactly the thing you would expect her to say. He said she was lovely and warm and nice. How fantastic to meet one of your stars like that. You know, I mean, you're probably like that when you meet me, aren't you? Is it a bit? Is it a bit like that when you meet me for the first time? Is that what happened to you, Claire? Did you go all gooey the first time you met me, darling? Was it a little bit worrying? You know, were you a little bit nervous? Claire says it's better to be fat and happy. Enjoy the cake. At least the jacket will fit better. Thanks very much. I was thinking of having it tied in. Shall I just eat more cake until I fill out again? No, in actual fact, I'll tell you in all seriousness, Claire, I'll tell you where I am with the weight world. It's gone up. I was 12 stone. As you know, I got to my 12 stone. I remained at 12 stone for many months. What's mucked me up is going up north. It's easy to lose weight on your own and stick to a plan. I was with the Slimming World plan, okay? That's easy if you're on your own. Once you're surrounded by other people, in particular, little children, it becomes more difficult because, you know, you go, "Oh, do you want an ice cream?" "Oh, yes, please, Uncle Chris." You know, I'll have one. I like ice cream, you know. "Oh, we're just going past this cake shop. Do you want something in there?" "Oh, yes, please, Uncle Chris." Or, you know, a little cake. Or my lovely niece. Or my nephew's wife. "Do you want to come round to dinner today?" "Oh, yeah, okay." Yeah, and on the way round there, you know, they're making me dinner. So I must do something in return. I'll stop off at the Co-op. I'll just get them some ice cream. Oh, I'll have one for myself as well. Now, you know, Ben and Jerry's ice creams. You know, 1 tub each. 500 millilitres. And that's the problem. It's much more difficult when you've got other people around you to keep off that weight. However, it's got to 12 stone. It goes between 12 stone 8 and 12 stone 10. And it seems to have stuck there. It's not going up anymore. So I wonder if that means anything. Maybe I was a bit underweight. Is that possible, to be underweight a bit? I don't know. But it does seem to have stuck at 12.10, 12.8. And it hangs around there. It just seems to be around there all the time without me having to worry too much about what I eat. One thing I don't do anymore is eat between meals. Very, very rarely. And I don't do the crisps. I don't do the crisps or the eating between meals. I don't go out and buy chocolate or stuff like that. What I have is 3 main meals away, a day. I've already had my breakfast. I'll have lunch after I've been swimming, around about 1 o'clock, and I'll have another meal tonight, possibly when I get to work. When I get to the caravan tonight, which is going to be bloody cold tonight. It's going to be cold up there tonight. And my sister, because I turned off the heating because I wasn't there last week, it's only electric heating. So, of course, when I get there tonight, the timer's not going to switch it on because I've turned it off. But my sister has said she'll go round there, kindly enough, at some point this morning or this afternoon and just turn on the 2 heaters that are in there. I can't have too much heating on there anyway because of the electricity. Really, you do need, if you're going to use a caravan, I think, in the winter, you do need gas central heating in there. But it is an old caravan. It's all right for a few days a week. To live in it, not big enough. I'd have to get a bigger one. I'd absolutely have to get a bigger one. So that's how it works there. Let's just screw back. I was going to say screw back a bit there. Scroll back a bit here and read your things. One moment, please. There we are. Michael Lawrence. Eating 3 bits of cake is not good for Chris. No, it's not Michael. But Michael, anytime you want a cup of tea or a cake with me, you just let me know and I shall be there for a little bit. Can I have what's that cake that's sponged with pink icing? Is that Tottenham cake? I believe it's called Tottenham cake. I like something like that. You know, not too dry. That most of the birthday cakes, Aldi do a fantastic birthday cake, which is like £4. And I'll let you into a secret, that's where most of the birthday cakes come from for when we have a birthday. It's no problem at all, is it? They're nice cakes. £4 for a birthday cake. Not bad at all. Sainsbury's, Tesco's do this. Now, what do they call it? It's like in a silver foil thing. And it's cut into squares. Now, that just looks a bit cheap, to be honest. I wouldn't buy one of those. I don't think I'd get one of those for someone's birthday. They're probably dearer than the Aldi ones, but it just looks a bit cheap. Cake bake. I think it's called a cake bake, something like that. Cake bake. Mobile home. Static caravan, mobile home. Caravan-wise, Katie, you've got your mobile caravan. You know, that you tow around on a car, okay? You have a static caravan, which, although it's static, it can be moved, but not by your car, you know. Something comes along and lifts it up and puts it down and takes it to wherever you want to go. That's a static caravan, okay? That's what I've got, but it's not a winter spec one, okay? So there's not too much insulation around it. Difficult to keep warm, to be in all honesty. Although I have to say, once I'm in my little bedroom and I close the door, I've got one electric heater in there. It's perfectly all right. I don't get cold in bed at all. That and the fact that I've got, I think, a 13.5 tog duvet thing on there as well. And then after static caravan, you've got mobile home, which again can be picked up and moved, but it is kind of the next step up for my mobile home would be a house. I think it's due to the materials that I used. So that's what I've got, a static caravan. Probably a summer spec one though, because it's a little bit cold in there. You can get different specs. So you can get a winter one, which has got much more insulation and things like that. I've been looking at it all over the internet. As I say, I've recently joined a Facebook group, actually last night really, and I did put a comment on there. So I'm going to see, when I finish the show, I'll see if anyone's answered on the comments on there. Tracy, good morning to Tracy Clifford. That's my niece. She's moving soon. They're going to Cyprus. Her husband does a very important job and they've got to move to Cyprus. And they're going to be there for a period of years, unfortunately. So that's where my holidays are going to be next year. Cyprus, which is it's a little bit further away than I thought it would be. About 4 or 5 hours, I think it is, something like that. I hope they do business class. I'm not sitting in the back of that bloody plane, dear. Oh, the smells and the children crying and screaming, dear, while one is trying to sleep. Do they have flat beds to Cyprus? I hope so. I've got to check that out later. Yeah, she's moving to Cyprus. Anyone been there? It's supposed to be really nice. Actually, a dear old lady I used to know, I worked with her. Her name was Jean Highland. I worked with her in British Telecom when I was a directory inquiry operator before I became an engineer. And she had a place in Cyprus and she loved it there. She loved it. How hot's that get in the summer? If it's anything more than 40, I'm in trouble. I just start melting. Bits of me can be seen all over pavements in Australia. That happened a few years ago to me. Hello to Adam the plumber, who says, I remember the first time I met you, my legs turned to jelly. Did they really? Christina, my weakness is fresh bakery bread. Oh, the smell. You haven't got a bread machine. Do not buy a bread machine, Christina. They are absolutely deadly. Deadly. I've got one downstairs. I haven't used it for a number of years now. I should just have a little bit of a clear out here, really, shouldn't I, really? Have you seen the film Bohemian Rhapsody? What do you think? I thought it was excellent, Adam. Highly recommended to go and see Bohemian Rhapsody. Is this a real thing? Caught in reality. Ba, 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 ba. Mama just killed a man. Put a gun into his head, shot it now and now he's dead. Mama, I love it. I love the Queen film. Bohemian Rhapsody, really good. Go and see it. And I couldn't fault it, actually. You'll love the music, of course. BA business got business class to Cyprus. Excellent, Michael. Well, I'll be happy on there then, won't I? Steve and I had chocolate eclairs. Chocolate eclairs. Oh. Stephen, you are a temptress. You are a devil in disguise. You're a devil in disguise. I had chocolate eclairs. Most bakers don't muck 'em up. Mine were from Aldi. Nothing wrong with Aldi. Nothing wrong with Aldi stuff. I used to hate it. When it first came here to Bracknell, I went in there once. I swore I'd never go there again, but I've likened it. It's so cheap. So cheap. The times I go into Aldi, and I've got my basket. I don't have a trolley. I've got my basket of stuff. And I get there and I've got £20 in my hand. I thought, oh, have I got enough here? And then she comes to the £7.50, please. What? Do you know what I mean? It's not just a few pence cheaper. It's a lot cheaper in Aldi. It really is. Stephen says it's never that cold in the UK. Believe me, it's a balmy 2 degrees centigrade here. Well, we got about 5 here today. I think it's about 5 degrees centigrade here at the moment. I'm not sure on that. Keep an eye on the temperature. Go and see that, Michael. It's a really, really good film. All right? Now, I was watching the BBC Breakfast News this morning. Here's something for you to watch. Now, this is a wonderful... what a wonderful boy this is. It's on the BBC iPlayer. The programme that I want you to watch is called The Billy Monger Story. Monger. Now, write this down. The Billy, Billy, Monger, Monger story. Now, this popped up this morning on BBC Breakfast Time. And I have heard of this story before. Now, they've turned it into a programme. And basically, it's this boy who's 18 years old, one of Britain's most exciting young drivers, who in April 2017 was involved in a devastating crash, resulting in the amputation of his legs. Incredibly, within 11 months of the accident happening, he was back in a racing car with what do they call it? False legs, you know what I mean. He lost both his legs. I was determined to get back on the racing track. I mean, what a wonderful thing to watch. What a great example to people he must be. 17 years old. Billy resolved to get back to racing. This is on the BBC site. In the hope of becoming the first ever amputee to race competitively in a single-seating racing car. Right? The film follows the extraordinary story of Billy and his family as he pursues his dream to one day race in Formula One with the support of the racing community and his hero, Lewis Hamilton. Billy has had to change the rules of motorsport and learn to drive again without legs, all while coming to terms with life as a disabled person, a term Billy is reluctant to accept. This heartwarming and inspirational story is about the incredible will of one young man, but also the extraordinary support his family provides during the toughest time of their lives. Now, the programme is an hour long. I haven't seen it yet, boys and girls, but please, I'm going to watch that. And can I suggest you do the same? I think you'll love it. It's just an amazing how how someone so young, you know, loses his legs like that. But he won't let that stop him doing anything. Fantastic. So watch that. Give that a go on the BBC iPlayer. The Billy Monger story, which is available now, boys and girls. All right. Okie doke. Have we got anything else to do today? Yes. X Factor. Now, I don't watch X Factor. I haven't watched X Factor this series at all, but all the papers seem to be carrying this story today. Now, if you go onto the Daily Mirror, you can actually watch the video that the papers are talking about. Here's the story in this morning's Daily Mirror. Furious. Just a moment. Let me just check my little messages there. Oh, where are we now? That's it. Good. Furious X Factor fans were disgusted by Cheryl Cole's, whatever her name is, Cheryl Vicini, Cheryl Payne, I don't know what her name is this week. Has she been married at all again this week? You see, I think Cheryl Cole and Katie Price are now in competition to see who can get married the most. I'm sure that is the case. Anyway, back to the story. Furious X Factor fans were disgusted by Cheryl's X-rated performance on tonight's results show, and not just because of the awful vocals. The former judge returned to the X Factor studio 7 years ago. 7 years after leaving the hot seat for her first stage performance in 4 years. She's 35, but she may have misjudged her audience for the pre-Watershed gig, as viewers slammed her for putting on an outrageous display for the family show. Cheryl, who's a mother, started by crawling on the floor while licking her hand in bizarre scenes. She then started gyrating on the stage with a dozen hunky male dancers while singing her new track, Love Made Me Do It. One Direction star Louis Tomlinson, who was close friends with her ex, looked a bit hot under the collar as he watched Cheryl from the judge's desk. One viewer said, "This is actually S-H-I-T. Why did she lick her hand at the start? Cheryl licking her hand tattoo is about as appealing as his performance," added another. A third said, "I just don't understand Cheryl. She can't even sing." "Not sure if it's the sound or she can't sing, but this sound is bad," says the fourth. So these are all comments coming in from other people. Now, I have to tell you, most people that you see singing on the television are miming. Shouldn't be happening in competitions like the X Factor people. They should all be singing live, but you can still do things to people's voices with equipment. I would be surprised if she was actually singing live, but she may well have been. It is a lot harder if there's some sort of dance routine going on as well, and it requires a lot of running around to sing properly at the same time. That is one of the reasons so many of them decide to mime while they're doing the dancing. And I would be surprised if she was actually singing live, which begs the question, how bad are the vocals actually there? Now, I've watched the video now. I have watched that, and I would be embarrassed in front of small children to watch that. She's there, and she was the same in another one of her videos, the one which you all read, Fight for This Love. And a lot of the video, she's just got her legs right open. Now, if I was sitting with children, or if I was a child with my parents, I would be embarrassed to sit there and watch that. So go and watch the video. The singing is awful. It's awful. The only good thing about it is the male dancers. They're pretty hot, but they're not like scantily dressed. You know, they're kind of respectably dressed, and the dance moves, I watched the dance move, they're not particularly provocative. It's her. And to be fair to her, she's not the only one. My niece absolutely refuses point blank for her little children, just over 1 year old, 5 years old, and 6 years old, that she will not let them watch Little Mix or Rihanna. I don't understand how we've got as far. This is, and it's more than soft porn. It's a bit more than soft porn. They're pushing it all the time, pushing it. And I honestly don't think that small children should be watching this sort of thing. It's in Rihanna walking on the stage and on, not Top of the Pops, whatever it is they watch now, MTV and other music channels. And there she is on her video in a bra and knickers at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, for God's sake, man. I think it's wrong to be showing children this sort of thing. And you don't necessarily even have to sit there, well, let's watch Rihanna on the telly. You know, they could be watching something and then she just appears. They're not dressed properly. Provocative movements in front of children. Oh, look at me, I'm sexy. Oh, wow, are you really? That's interesting. The story goes on in the Daily Mirror. Producers must have been sweating over her performance, which took a lot of inspiration from her sultry music video for the new song. They will fear a similar backlash to 2010, where performances by Rihanna and Christina Aguilera, there's another one who comes on in bra and knickers, received thousands of complaints to Ofcom. The judges seemed impressed and gave her a standing ovation. Well, one of them didn't. The bloke from Earth, Wind and Fire sat down, didn't he? What's his name? Nile Rodgers. What a wonderfully talented man he is. Oh, it says here there were also claims that Nile Rodgers, who was filling in for Robbie Williams, appeared not to stand up after her performance. Oh, well, that might be just a camera thing. I don't know about that. But fans flocked to Twitter in shock, with one tweeting, haha, Nile Rodgers is very cool about denying Cheryl a standing ovation. Every performance should be judged on its merits. But awful, really. Just absolutely awful. And I honestly don't think that thing should be on at such an early part of the evening. Because it is more than soft porn. It goes further than soft porn. It really does. Let's see what some of you think about that, gang. Diana says, I like Cheryl. Is that right? I'm sure perhaps you do like Cheryl, Diana. But are you happy for your children to be watching something like that on the telly? Whether it's a girl or a boy. Some of the blokes are at it as well. But they don't... I'm just trying to think of any male singer or that I've seen on the telly that does. I can't think of one. I'm sure there must be. I mean, okay, if you take a singer, let's take a male for example. About the closest I'd allow children to watch would possibly be something like, and it's an old one, Peter Andre, Mysterious Girl. He's got his top off. He's doing the dance with his stomach, but it doesn't look sexual. You see what I mean? You can get out bits of flesh without it having to look like, yeah, come and get me, lads. Can't you? And Peter Andre, no top on, doing the stomach dance. Yeah, that was all right. I didn't find that offensive or embarrassing to watch while I was with my mum and dad. I just think it goes too far, Diana. I would be very surprised if you let your little children watch that. Or, well, maybe, I'm just being old-fashioned. Good morning to Stacey Butler. There's my my nephew's wife is with us this morning. Good morning to you. Katie says no respect for herself. Thank you, Katie. Diana says it's the record label. That's why Little Mix left Simon's label. What, to be more like glorified prostitutes on the stage? Is that why they left his label? Knickers out and all that. Stacey agrees with that as well. Katie says some of the video games are no better. Now, I can't comment on that. I just don't play computer games, to be honest, Katie. They've never really appealed to me. Do you know what the last computer game is I used to play? Pac-Man. Boo! We love Pac-Man. And he never used to take his clothes off, did he? He was quite happy to just sit there being a little yellow blob eating away at the dots. Diana, no, she doesn't let her children watch it either. You see, Diana doesn't. It's not necessary to come on the television in front of a family audience looking like a bloody prostitute. 'Cause you do. Of course, some people say, oh, well, you're a man, you've got no right to say that. I have an opinion. That's my opinion. You may have a different one. If you've got a different one, tell me and I'll read it out. No problem with that. No, Diana didn't enjoy it. No, she didn't enjoy it either. Thank you, Diana. So computer games apparently are just as bad as well. I wouldn't know. I've never seen them. I've seen my nephew play some sort of shooting game. Well, both my nephews actually play a shooting game. Like people dressed up in army gear. No spaceships though. Whatever happened to spaceships on computer games? My nephew Gary and my nephew Jimmy, they're like army people with guns. Where are the spaceships? There's no spaceships anymore. How boring is that? You lot are getting more and more boring as you get younger. And my other great nephew George, he sits there playing this football game. All footballers who I have to say, they look almost real. Not quite, almost real. And they're there and he kicks the ball and in the goal it goes. No spaceships. Where are the spaceships? Do we not shoot spaceships down anymore? Is that because it's really offensive to people that fly spaceships? I love it, dear. Pac-Man's gone home. Oh, dear me. All right, hello to Terry Limmer. Welcome to our show, Terry. We're about to go now, gang. We're about to go now. Okay, we're going to wrap it up there, gang. Let's do today's birthdays. I'll do yesterday's birthdays as well. And tomorrow's. Okay, we're going to do a lot of birthdays now because I'm not usually there on a Tuesday morning, am I? I get up late on a Tuesday because I've had a long drive up north. So let's see what we've got today. Today's birthday is November the 19th, 2019. Happy birthday to Kathy Conquest Forsyth Smith. Good morning, Kathy. Another year goes by. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Chrisen Presents. To Mark Small, 28 today. Emilie Monique Baldin is 31 today. And Emma Reese is 39 on this Monday afternoon. Yesterday's birthdays, Sunday, November the 18th, for Ross Herndon, 65 years old today, Ross. Well done, mates. He's got there, 65 today. Anthony Big was 50 years old yesterday, just a little bit behind me there, Anthony. Happy birthday. Chris Hayward, one of our lovely Manilow ladies. Looks like we made it. La da 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 da. Happy birthday, Chris, baby. Hugh Cook. Good morning, Hugh. 27 years old yesterday. Ian Taylor Comyn. Morning, Ian. One of our old quiz people at the Mayflower. David Von Jones. One of our karaoke people at Belushi's London Bridge. 33 years old yesterday. Gary Nichols. Good morning, Gary. Happy birthday to yesterday for you. And tomorrow's birthdays we're due, and that's I can't go back any further than that, all right? So I can only go back one day. I can do today, go back a day, and I can go forward as many days as I want go forward, actually. So tomorrow, Tuesday, the November the 20th, happy birthday tomorrow to a good friend of mine, Thomas Henry Crawford, who I haven't seen actually for some years now. Good morning, Tom. I hope things are going well. I hope you're not still putting people in sheds on roofs, dear. I'm really sorry. Sometimes I have a little joke with the person whose birthday it is, and you won't know what the hell I'm talking about. He will be laughing his head off over that one. Good morning, Thomas. 52 years old tomorrow. Okay, Anthony. Did you buy any more sheds? You're gonna have a whole community up there, dear. £100 a week each. It's not bad, is it? Anthony Hellings. Good morning, Anthony. Happy birthday for tomorrow for you. Also, Pablo La Rossi, 24 tomorrow. Mattia Ratti is 37 tomorrow. Debra Kanonku Schultz is 48 tomorrow. I think that's a little Disney castle you've got there on your profile. But I love Disney. I love Disney. Sarah Scott, it's her birthday tomorrow. Good morning, Sarah. Jordi Egger, it's his birthday tomorrow. It's Jordi, there we are. Birthday tomorrow. And Mark McKenzie. Good morning, Mark. It's his birthday tomorrow as well. So happy birthday to you all, boys and girls. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Okay? Diane says, it's a hate crime. I'm performing a hate crime against women singers. Go and report me then. I was going to tell you that. I've got to tell you this before I go. Stacey said, I've just watched it. To be fair, I've seen a lot worse. Little Mix were far worse than Cheryl. So thank you for that, Stacey. Shall I save this story? No, I'm going to save this. I'll save this story for another day. I'll save it for another day. All right, tonight, boys and girls, it's karaoke tonight. Who's coming? There we are. Karaoke tonight at Central Station in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Starts at 7:30. We've got cheap drinks as well every Monday night. It's a lovely atmosphere. And you'll be able to sing twice, maybe 3 times tonight if you're lucky. Get there early. A lot of people turn up so late that they only get one song in, and then they complain because everyone else has sung 3 times. Well, that's because they got there at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, there you are at the top of the queue. We go through the list, then you appear again. We go through the list, then you appear again. If you come in at the end, in the second thing, we might not get to you a second time, you see. All right, so do come down early. It starts at 7:30 and goes right the way through until 11 o'clock tonight with cheap drinks. If you're going to be really late, okay, send me a Facebook message with the song that you want. Don't be sending it at 8 o'clock and then not turn in until like 10 to 11. Can't fit you in then. If you're going to be late and you're on your way, send me your song by Facebook message and I'll put you in the queue so that when you get there, you've got some chance of getting on. All right? And there we are. Okay, boys and girls, that's it for the show today. What's the time? 10 past 10? I'm going to have my pills and then I'll probably have a little walk up to the swimming pool. I'll see some of you tonight at the karaoke. If not, probably the next show will probably be on Wednesday. Sometimes we do one on a Tuesday morning. It just depends what time I get up on a Tuesday because I do have a long drive up to... I say it's long, it's not that long, up to Lincolnshire. And so Tuesdays I don't get up till a little bit later and then... got to do other things during the daytime. Although I don't think I've got anything to do Tuesday daytime, actually. I will go swimming Tuesday up in Horncastle, which I like to do. All right, have a lovely day. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. And thanks to those of you that took the time and trouble to share the show to your walls as well. See you soon. Bye-bye now.